Imagine you are standing alone in the middle of a vast open field, no walls, no roof, no light except the cold silver of the moon. The wind moves the grass in waves you cannot predict. Somewhere behind you, something snaps, a branch maybe, or maybe not. Your chest tightens, your eyes dart. Your feet want to run, but your brain is screaming direction. That feeling, raw, electric, ancient, is not a glitch. It is a gift. And it is older than language, older than fire, older than the first word any human being ever spoke out loud. Today we are going back, not to history books, not to museums, not to carefully labeled fossils behind glass. We are going back to the dark, to the time before cities, before walls, before the comforting lie that we are safe. We are going to sit with our ancestors, the real ones, and ask them a question that science is only now beginning to answer honestly. What did they actually fear? Not what we assume they feared. Not the cartoonish image of a caveman trembling before a lightning bolt and deciding to worship it. The real answer is far more complex, far more human, and in many ways far more terrifying. Because when you hear it, you will recognize it. You will feel it in your own chest. And you will realize that despite everything, the skyscrapers, the smartphones, the streaming services, you are still carrying every single one of these fears inside you right now. Let's begin about 300,000 years ago. Homo sapiens have just emerged in Africa. The body is modern, the brain is modern, but the world around that brain is nothing like ours. There are no hospitals, no locks on doors, no doors at all. There are no police, no armies protecting you, no emergency numbers to call. There is only the group, your small band of maybe 30 to 150 people. And beyond that group, there is everything else. And everything else wants to eat you, replace you, or erase you. The first and most primal fear ancient humans carried was not death in the abstract. It was being eaten alive. And this is not a metaphor. Paleontologists have found human bones, our ancestors' bones, with the unmistakable scrape marks of large predator teeth. Leopard bites, hyena gnawing. These were not rare accidents. They were a constant, daily, statistical reality of life. You could be taken at any moment. Children were especially vulnerable. Going to sleep meant trusting the darkness with your life. Walking to find water alone was a gamble you might lose. Here is what that does to a brain over hundreds of thousands of years. It rewires it. The human nervous system evolved a permanent, always-on threat detection system. Your amygdala, that small almond-shaped structure deep in your brain, is essentially a biological alarm bell that never fully turns off. Even today, in your climate-controlled apartment, with your deadbolt locked and your phone charged, your amygdala is scanning. It is listening to sounds you are not consciously hearing. It is measuring shadows at the edge of your vision. It is doing exactly what it did on the African savanna because, as far as your ancient brain is concerned, the savanna never ended. This is why you cannot sleep when you hear a strange sound. This is why horror movies work. This is why the darkness still feels like it is watching you. You are not being irrational. You are being ancient. But predators were only the beginning. The second great fear of ancient humans was something most people never think about. And it is deeply unsettling when you understand its full weight. It was the fear of being cast out, banishment, exclusion from the group. In the modern world, social rejection stings. It hurts your feelings. You feel embarrassed, maybe depressed for a while. In the ancient world, social rejection was a death sentence, not metaphorically, literally. A single human being alone on the prehistoric landscape had almost no chance of survival. You could not hunt large game alone. You could not stay warm enough alone. You could not protect yourself from predators while also sleeping. You could not gather enough food while also watching for danger. You needed your group the way you need oxygen, and your group knew it, and they could take it away. This is why the social anxiety you feel before a big presentation or a first date is not embarrassing weakness. It is one of the most sophisticated survival systems evolution ever built. Your brain genuinely cannot tell the difference between "my coworkers think I said something weird in the meeting" and "the tribe is considering whether to leave me behind." The physical sensation is the same. The cortisol spike is the same. The obsessive mental replay of what you said and how people reacted, that is your ancient mind running threat assessment on your social standing, the same way it would have on the savannah. Ancient humans were acutely, desperately attuned to the emotional states of the people around them. They watched faces the way we watch weather. They listened to tone of voice the way we listen for sirens. Because a shift in the group's attitude toward you was an early warning system. If people were pulling away, you needed to know, fast, before it became irreversible. Now let's talk about something that almost no one discusses when they talk about ancient human fear, and it might be the most haunting of all. The fear of the unknown mind, the fear of what other humans were thinking. Your ancestors did not just share their world with nature, they shared it with other human beings and other human groups. And those other humans were the most dangerous and unpredictable force in the entire landscape. Animals behaved according to instinct, and instinct was learnable. You could study a lion's behavior, predict its patterns, plan around them. But a rival group of humans? They could deceive. They could cooperate in complex ways. They could plan ambushes days in advance. They could pretend to be friendly until the moment they weren't. Archaeological evidence, skeletal remains, burial sites, ancient massacre sites, tells us that intergroup violence was not rare in prehistoric human populations. Sites like the Crow Creek Massacre in South Dakota, dating back roughly 500 years, show evidence of 486 individuals, roughly 60% of an entire village population, killed and mutilated in a single attack. But violence between human groups goes back much further than that. Researchers have found evidence of violent trauma on human remains going back hundreds of thousands of years. So ancient humans feared other humans, deeply, profoundly. And this fear created one of the most persistent cognitive tendencies in our species, the instinct to divide the world into us and them, into known and unknown, into safe and dangerous. The moment you recognize someone as not from our group, your ancient brain did not give them the benefit of the doubt. It categorized them as a potential threat. Because in the world where this brain was built, that was the safer assumption. We carry this too. We carry it into politics, into neighborhoods, into comment sections, into every interaction with someone who looks, speaks, or believes differently than we do. The cold suspicion you sometimes feel towards strangers is not a character flaw. It is ancestral memory. Understanding it is the first step toward choosing differently. Let's go deep.